Hello, good to see you. We are now going to do Module D. Now I know Module C was kind of longer than expected, but that's because I did the full read-through of the Assignment 1 instructions. So Module D, even though there's a little bit more music, will take less time. So Study 2, you should be quite familiar with this one. Hopefully it's memorized by now. You've played it for several days. You've been really working on that rotating rather than fingers up and down kind of motion. Let's just jump right into the transposing. So today we're going to transpose it to two different keys. Let's start with study number 2, going to D major. So D. The difference, very obviously, is that now your middle finger is going to be on a black key the entire time. So you want to stay, I won't say you have to be literally touching the black key every moment, but you certainly should be touching it a lot of the time. Yeah, you're sort of hovering over it and often making contact with it. All right, I'm going to play all the way straight through. If you would like to do it in pieces first, like you learned it, one system, another system, repeat that, another system, repeat that, then fine, go ahead and do that. But when you're ready to play straight through, then join me here. 1, 2. All right, that was a little fast. If you didn't get everything, don't feel bad. Just do it again. Maybe slow it down slightly. You could start, if that's a better tempo for you. I find it hardest to play the F sharp G measure. I don't know which measure that is. That's towards the end of the first system, fingers 3 and 4. That's just the hardest to keep doing the same motion with because it feels like an awkward angle, but still it can be done. Go ahead and do the same thing with your left hand. After that's done, rejoin me and I'm going to play F major. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start at a slower tempo. F, C, A, B flat, F, G, A, B flat, C. So now the ring finger is the one which is elevated. Figure out, my hand looks like this. So if our C major position is like this, the F major position is like here. So my ring finger is just going to be elevated the entire time. All right, and of course we start dropping into that B flat. Here we go. 1 E and a, 2 E and a. Okay, stop. So what's funny is that all whole steps are not created equal. Okay, they're really not. They may sound the same in terms of how far away their frequencies are, but they're not the same because if you drop your fourth finger into F and then roll into G, like from the initial untransposed version, those feel really close together. But here, the B flat to C, doesn't that feel so much further away? It's because it is. And it's only, I don't know, a few millimeters. It's not very much further, but it sure feels like a stretch. Just so you know, you have to maintain that stretch while you're rocking your hand back and forth. Okay, here we go. 1 E and a, 2 E and a. Okay, I like the sound of that. I don't know why. I really like it. It's so much brighter up there. Okay, do the same thing with left hand. Slow it down if you need to. Be sure to repeat things. Do it enough times that you're like, okay, I can do this. I know it's transposed, but I remember the sound of it. If the transposing is really getting you down, then what you are allowed to do, don't write in all the new note names. That would be no good. But what would be totally okay is if you wrote in more of the finger numbers. So here over the first bar, you would write above it, you would write 4 or 5 in the right hand, and don't write it a million times, just write it once. And then here in this bar, write 3 5, right? Because E and G is 3 5 in the initial position. Over this bar, write 3 4, and so on. You could do it for some or not necessarily for all the bars, but if the transposing really isn't working for you, then this is how to do it. Focus not on what interval is it or even what note in the scale is it, just which finger do I need to be playing now. For some people, this is absolutely the key to transposition, just focusing on the finger, and then you'll suddenly find, oh, I can do it. I just have my hand over a different 5 keys, and I do the same thing I was doing with that little adjustment, and I can do it. Okay, so that is a tip. When I have a class transpose stuff all together, sometimes that's what I will say. I will say, okay, now 2 3, and now 1 3, that kind of thing. Okay, so whenever that's done, let's move on to study 3, which we learned at class 3 already. So really good to write in, as I've done here, the down, 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 down over the first couple of measures. And it's really so that you feel that measure 2 is almost the same motion as measure 1, which seems a paradox, but it is the same amount of falling because you're falling every single beat. It's just that in measure 2 you're going da 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 da. You happen to be playing a note sort of on your way up. I would say it's more like the note is the springboard that launches you up. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, now I'm exaggerating. You're not really going to be hopping here like a frog. You're going to be like hopping more like an, I don't know, an ant. Do ants jump? Something that jumps. Something tiny that jumps. A jumping flea. That's right. A jumping flea. Okay, so let's play this one. Hands separately. Most definitely separately. This is really hard to do together. Keep it separate. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... Okay, is this one fun or is it just really like frustrating? I don't know. For me, it's fun. It's also fun returning to it after a full year. Okay, what else? Be sure that be sure you're applying some of the all that great stuff you've been working out to this, even though it's only 2 notes. So measure 2. To the extent possible, it really is this. Yeah? Which means to a very, very great extent, it is this rocking back and forth so that the finger doesn't really like activate. Yeah, don't activate those fingers. It's a little harder 2 1. I feel that doesn't work as well as a rotating, whereas the finger to finger, the finger to finger rotates a little better. Okay, I'll do this with the left hand. And I'll do a little bit of a slower tempo. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh, before I do, just a reminder, the left hand starts with which fingers? Fingers 5 and 4. Yeah? Are these fingers weaker than the others? Yes, they are weaker than the others. But it doesn't matter when you're falling because they get that nice 8 pounds of arm weight. So it doesn't matter at all. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, good luck. Hope you can get to a point where you enjoy it as well, because it is fun to play once you're not having to think so hard about it. What else have we got? Okay, Land of the Silver Birch. So this one is new. We haven't done this before. Page 76. All right. Up at the top, it actually establishes here's the hand positions. So great, let's use that. We've got left hand 5, 4, 3, 1, 2. Except there's a key signature, so be sure you have the 2 on B flat. Right hand immediately above, thumb is on D. Okay, so get all those notes down. Get yourself relaxed, shoulders down. Now, there's how many systems on the first page? There's 2 systems, and how many systems on the second page? Also 2 systems, but what's weird about this one is that there's 3 stabs. Yeah, so look on the side, it's highlighted in gray, which makes it impossible to see if you have sort of low light in your room. So the student part is those top 2 systems, the treble and the bass, and then it says student, and then there's a brace joining them. Below that it says accompaniment. Aha! So you're not going to play the accompaniment part, you're just going to play the student part. So as they establish here at the top, it's the hand positions. Okay, here we go. So right hand, thumb is going to be on D to begin. Left thumb is going to be on middle C to begin. I'm just going to play the first page. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... Okay, if that was great, okay, do it one more time. If it was not great, okay, do it 1 or 2 or 3 more times. After you've done that, let's do the second page. So same positions, of course. Before we play it all, let's think through the rhythms of it all. So it's going to be like ta. Actually, let me say right and left. That would be good right here. So second page is like right, left, 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 right, right, right. Okay, so see that last bar, the top of that system, left hand whole note, right hand has 1 beat of rest, and then note, note, note. Let's try playing just this top system of the second page. D, C. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, did you play, or do you play something else? A lot of times people play something else as they're learning it. So, A, G, E is important there. Okay, don't write in the note name. Just look at it. It's fine to circle something or draw a frowny face or whatever, but don't write in the note name. You want to be sure that you're keeping your mind engaged in decoding the notes all the time. Okay, and then the last system, just go ahead and tap the rhythm with both hands. It looks like they're always the same duration. They don't change. So it's like ta ti ti ta 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 ti ti ta 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 ti ti ta ta ta. Okay, and something's different about the last bar. The left hand has got 2 notes instead of 1. F A. That should be the last bar. F A D. Okay, now let's play just from bar 13 to the end. 1, 2, 3, and... Good. All right, so repeat each bit of this and then play all the way straight through. And it sounds nice as they suggest, so there's a repeat sign at the end. As it says right under the title, play 1 octave higher than written with both hands the second time. That does sound really nice. Okay, so after you've done that one, then continue with me on to the sight reading. Page 41 is a jazz waltz. All right, look at the fingering, telling you the positions. Left hand 2 goes on B. There's no key signature this time. Right hand 1 goes on C. So I guess the left hand's thumb is just not needed. You can sort of let it hang out down below for the moment. Okay? This one should only take about 2 minutes for you to learn. So go ahead and learn it. Okay, when you've learned it, resume the video here. I'm going to play the accompaniment. That's here on the bottom half of the page. The accompaniment sort of doubles the melody. It's enough that I think it'll be easy for you to play along with me. So here we go. You're playing just your student part, and I'm playing just the accompaniment. A 1, 2, 3. I love that chord at the end. It's so cheesy. Oh man, is it cheesy. Okay, do that again. If you didn't quite fly, just zoop, back up, do it again. All right, and then we are also sight reading the Shepherd's Song. So this one is written by, oh, look at that. This is Beethoven. Aha. So this comes from his Pastoral Symphony. All right, no key signature. Right hand says finger 3 goes on where? Yep. There on the E. And then left hand finger 4 goes on that G. So looks like both thumbs are in middle C. That's really annoying. It's only done in beginning piano music and never after. So anyway, just roll with it. Okay. This one you might be able to do just straight through. Take a very slow tempo and see if you can play it without missing any notes. Okay, so more like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 2, 3. Okay, did you get all of it right? If so, that's fantastic. If you got most of it, like all but 2 notes, you're also doing fantastic. Yeah? Less than that, then you got to just break it down a little bit. So going straight through the whole piece isn't quite going to work yet. So break it down, do some smaller chunks. This one's broken into 4 short phrases, maybe sub-phrases really, but with each slur. So just repeat the notes within that slur a few times until you're absolutely sure you're getting your D's in the right place and your A's in the right place and so on. Okay, thanks. So that is the end of Module D. So you're going to prepare some stuff over the weekend for Quiz 1, which is going to be next week during your Zoom lesson time. So study number 3, racquetball, right hand alone and left hand alone. So I showed you that at the earlier part of this module. Land of the Silver Birch without the repeat. So we learned that this module as well with repeat, but just to save time, we'll do it without for the Zoom lesson. The tempo in that can be, I would say, minimum 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's faster, that's cool too, but that minimum tempo. And for racquetball, the minimum tempo, I would say... I don't really want it slower than that. Yeah, so that should be considered your minimum tempo. A little faster if you get there. And then sight reading is going to be a short melody for one hand. So it'll be only right hand playing or only left hand playing. It's not going to be divided between the hands, okay? All right, there's some additional practicing for the weekend, so I'm not going to walk you through that, but I also want you to learn those, and they will be some part of class or modules next week. So waltzing, morning is broken, play the little notes as well. There's some grace notes there, go ahead and play those too. And then alouette, So that one, there's a separate video posted on Canvas, so you don't have to wade through the module to find it. It's just Alouetta, and I just play it with both hands. Learn that by rote just by watching my hands and repeating it. And next time we meet for an in-person class, I will have everyone play it, and you should know it so well by then that it doesn't even take any review. You're like, oh yeah, I know this one. Okay? So that'll be fun. I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.